Nothing ties us to survival more than our breathing. I love Epic Mobility. Thank you for joining us today. Our class is going to be geared around anxiety and bringing breath, but don't worry, we're still going to bring strength and vigorous energy that comes out of this. First, what we're going to do is go into our postures of Tai Chi. We're also going to have elements of Pilates and yoga. What's beautiful about all these mindful practices is they all have their different strengths in breathing, and we're going to wrap that all into one today. So let's go ahead and get started in posture 1 of our Tai Chi movement. With Tai Chi, you're stepping out a little bit wider, shoulder width apart. You're pushing your hips back. Your knees are slightly bent. You're sitting down into those heels. All right, so you're not sitting down into a full squat, but you are bracing yourself. And we're gonna bring the energy up high and then down low, drawing everything up, pressing everything down. Bring it up and down. Now I'm gonna let us just mindfully move through this. Breath in and out. Join me. Rise as you fall. Pull everything up. Press everything down. Shoulders come up and down. Now quietly move through this with me. How are you doing out there? Let's do this for another 10 seconds. Bending those knees, pressing everything down, rising up. Beautiful. Just getting our mind into our movement. A lot of times when we're dealing with pain, our brain goes to that pain. Now we're just going to move gently and flow through it. Posture 2 of your Tai Chi. Love it. It mimics our yoga prayer hands, except you're in a wider stance. Your pelvis is back. Your knees are bent. Weight in your heels. And as we inhale up, lifting our chest, hands together, bringing our chest and our heart through our hands. Bending those knees, receiving. Sitting down into that posture 1, inhaling, exhaling. If you get those two confused, don't worry, just breath in and breath out. Bring it up, take it slow. Now I'm gonna let us quietly do this together, feeling the energy press up through our heels as we rise and fall. One more time, rise. Prayer hands come back down to your heart. Nice. Now we're going to move into posture 3. I love this posture 3 because it gives that flowing movement, that very martial arts high stance. Great for arthritis. Beautiful for the mind, just getting your mind somewhere else that's not so digital. So we're going to get into our posture, but I want you to step out a little wide to give yourself some room. We're all built a little different. And I want you to imagine sandbags. All right, if your legs were sandbags, pouring sand in from one leg to the other. This takes a little practice, side to side. If you can visualize pouring the sand into one side of your body to the other. Tai Chi is very much about balance and holding, and that's what we're going to try a little bit today with your posture 3. So let me talk you through it. Let's get into our stance. We're going to have our left foot forward, and we're going to turn our right foot out. And what we're doing is we're pulling the sandbags from side to side. Now I'm going to leave my arms out of it just for a moment. We're going to lean to your left, and pull your right toe up. And then we're going to pull all the sand and put it into our right leg as we lean forward. Pulling all the sand out of this right leg, toe comes up, putting the weight into the left side. So this is a very much big flow, placing the foot down and toe up. Now let me use my arms, all right? Join in with me. When I lean back, I'm pulling, think of pulling that sand into that left leg. I'm pulling my elbows back, my right toe comes up, and then I'm pushing as that toe goes down, and I load the leg. Bringing it up, pull, and pushing. Try it with me. We're gonna inhale. Let's go ahead and put our weight on our right foot, toe down. As we pull, putting the weight into our left leg, right toe comes up, push, loading that right leg. Right toe comes up, pull. As the right foot comes down, placing the sand as we push, pull, push, pull. Do you think you have it? Let's do about 15 seconds by ourselves on this side. Are you ready? If you can close your eyes, great. If this is new to you, just watch me. Repetitive muscle patterns make these classes more enjoyable. So just join in and enjoy the process. Right toe comes up, let's push. Back to center. All right, before we do any kind of transition, let's do that other side. So right foot forward, left foot out, sandbags pulling them, pushing. As we pull the left toe up and pull the sand into our right leg, push as we place it into the left. Pull, left toe comes up, push, left toe comes down. Feeling your body shift weight. One more. And push. Now I'm going to show you how to transition. And this is so important for our shoulders and our core. So let's get into our stance. I'm going to start from my right, then I'm going to transition to my left. Here we go. Doesn't that feel good? Come back to the center and ha. So there's your taste of Tai Chi. Oh, it's such a beautiful, beautiful movement, but that's our posture. So go ahead and step together. I want you to meet me down on your mat. Get down to your mat any way that you would like tonight or today or whatever time it is for you. As we come down to our mats, we are going to go into our yoga. Okay, now we're down on our mat. This is where I'm going to be rolling into our yoga elements. We're sitting cross-legged. Our hands are on the ends of our knees, and we're using our body as leverage. You know, that's something that's so beautiful about these mindful practices is you start learning your body awareness. So hands on your knees as you lift your heart, lift your chest. Imagine pulling your elbows behind you like they're touching. That's just a cue, it shouldn't happen. Chest up. And right here, what I would like you to do is breath in, belly breathing, filling the belly. Exhale. One more time, filling the belly. Exhale. Nice. Now we're going to turn our head, keeping our spine nice and tall, stacking, looking over our shoulders. If you imagine your body as a piece of fabric, and if you put some string in there, and you pulled at the top of that fabric with that string, some of the fabric would be bunched up, tight, loose, and that is your body. We all have muscle imbalances, and one little minor detail like your neck can affect your lower back, between your shoulder blades, and even your shoulders. Nice. Now, if you could pick it up, please do, or keep that pace. Breath in, breath out. Oh, almost like you're swinging your ponytail. If you don't have a ponytail, you can just imagine it. Kind of like a rock band. Side to side. Ah, breath in, breath out. Whew, nice work. Now we're gonna roll our shoulders. Really exaggerate this movement. Bringing the shoulders up to your ears, feeling the shoulder blades slide down your back. I'm gonna turn around so you can see me. We're so used to seeing a front shot, but we're rolling our shoulders up, shoulder blades down. Roll our shoulders up, shoulder blades down. Take your time. Yeah. Just getting some synovial fluid to all of our joints. Up and back down. So where do you hold your tension usually? In your shoulders and in your neck. So let's relieve and press down. We're in control of this moment. Ha. Very nice. Now we're going to come into all fours and we're going to do a child pose flow. But first, let's really talk about child pose. Some of you may have done child pose in the past, but listen to my cueing. There may be something that you can learn today. So as we get to all fours, go ahead and get your legs pretty wide. That gives you room in the midsection and opens up your hips. Opening up your knees wide will also cause a stretch across your back. So if your back is really tight, play with that just a little bit where you feel burning, but not ripping and jarring and tearing, okay? Burning's great, but anything beyond that, we're not trying to get competitive with. So our knees are wide. My hands are right up under my shoulders. And I'm going to take the palms of my hands and shift back to my heels. And you don't have to sit on your heels. I may not make it to my heels today. But as we drop our head, our feet are flat. You can even walk your fingers out. Oh, and just sit in that child's pose. You may have to rock back and forth from heel to heel. One side might be a little tighter than the other. This is a huge lengthen in your back, posterior chain, how you move, how you feel chronically, how strong you're going to be able to do life. So let's lengthen this out. Take a breath in, come up to all fours. Beautiful. Now I'm going to readjust my hands. I'm a little longer than your average bear, so I have to adjust my hands in some of these poses. But we really want to make sure we have wrist to elbow so we can push up through our palms, dropping our chin into a cat pose, tucking our pelvis, navel coming up through our spine. Remember, that's just a cue. Shifting back to our heels into child pose once again. Your forearms are off the mat. And as you sit here rocking from side to side, imagine pressing your armpits to the mat. And as you do that, you feel that stretch between your shoulder blades. Oh, right there. Inhale through the nose, exhale. Let's move up to all fours. Pressing up through the palms, navel tight, chin down, shifting back into child pose once again. Rocking from side to side if you're able. Walking your hands out just a little further. Oh, that was nice. I got a bigger stretch on that one. Inhale, exhale, up to all fours. The beauty of your child pose is you can mix that with many different flowing exercises, but I really wanted you to focus in on that child pose today. Nice work. Now we're going to move into more of a Pilates element. Pilates and yoga kind of play hand in hand. We won't get into much of it today, but I'll give you some tips. Pilates is a very strong movement. You breathe through your belly with yoga, and with Pilates, you breathe right behind that rib cage to be able to hold some of the core movements. Let's not overthink it today, but there is a little bit different teaching to Pilates. So what we're going to do is we're going to shift to our bottom. We're going to have our hands down on our mat, but before we get down to our mat, we're going to grab the back of our thighs and pull our elbows out like you're holding a big old beach ball. We're scooping everything out of the middle, C-shaped spine. The only reason you wouldn't be able to do this if you had a metal rod in your back. So we're grabbing the back of our thighs, elbows out, chin in and down, C-shaped spine. And we're going to start from the lower back as we gently put one vertebrae at a time onto the mat. Good. I was seeing if I was going to run out of mat. One vertebrae at a time, moving between the shoulder blades, up to the neck like a string of pearls. Coming to the base of your skull. Beautiful. So we're going to start at the top of our head before we get set up for this bridge. Bridges are used quite a bit in a variety of classes. Let's really hone in on the importance of a bridge. So we're going to start at our head, bringing our chin down, like I mentioned, the base of your skull into the ground, rolling your shoulders back and down, pinching the shoulder blades together, placing your hands firmly into the mat, walking your heels up, spreading your toes, your foundation, pressing into the feet. And that is really important for a bridge, to really put our foundation onto this mat. Now, as we lift up into a bridge, we're going to take it really slow, thinking about knitting our core together as we rise. So we're going to tilt our pelvis down where we have a huge gap between the mat and our body. Now I'm going to tilt my pelvis up where there's not any air between my body and the mat. And as I do that, I'm going to pick up one vertebrae at a time, starting from my sacrum, rolling all the way to the top between my shoulder blades, keeping my knees in and up toward the ceiling, opening up our pelvis. Glute strength. Now this gives you more room to walk your hands in a little closer. I want us to hold it right here. Think about what's working. The front of your thighs, your quads, your hamstrings. Now, roll to one or both balls of your feet. Now that's shifted into the knees. Now let's put back into the heels. Now, through this bridge, we are going to try our best to keep the hip bones aligned. So press up through your heels, starting from the base of your head between your shoulder blades, one pearl at a time, coming down to your sacrum, controlling. Finally, your pelvis touches your mat as you bring your pelvis down, allowing a gap between the mat and your body. Whew, that was a lot more to a bridge than we imagined, huh? Let's do that again. We are going to tilt our pelvis down and then back up, smashing the air between the body and the mat, one vertebrae at a time, starting from your sacrum. Slow, slow, slow. Breath in, breath out. When you get to the base of your skull, press up through your palms. Feel the strength. Breath in, breath out as we drop one vertebrae at a time. Take your time, control the movement. you start feeling your body shift from right to left, working on the muscle imbalances. Beautiful. Now we're gonna do ISO. We're gonna do one leg extension, but we're gonna go through all those steps and blend this in seamlessly with control. Here we go. We're going to tilt our pelvis down, having a gap between the mat. Then we're gonna tilt our pelvis up, picking one vertebrae up at a time, pressing up through our heels. Moving between the shoulder blades, chin comes down. And go ahead and rearrange yourself. There's nothing to be said that you have to start from where you placed your foot. Adjust. Beautiful, mindful practices. Now I'm gonna press up through my heels and I'm gonna adjust a little bit more. I'm gonna walk closer to my bottom. That engages my glutes. I'm gonna extend my left leg first. And all I'm gonna do is make sure my knees are lined up, my hips are lined up as I extend my left leg. Pointing my toe, placing it back down on the mat. Try that with me. Try your best not to rock side to side. Extend that left leg, slowly bring it in, place it on your mat. Let's switch to your right. Extend. Place it on your mat. Let's readjust just in case that bottom fell. Engaging the glutes, extending the right leg, bringing it back seamlessly. Press up one more time, slowly dropping your vertebrae between the shoulder blades, down to the sacrum. A lot of core work right below that belly button. Fall prevention muscles, having to hold your body weight, internal girdle, I love it. Let's go ahead and pull those knees to our chest and just rock back and forth. That looked so good. I could only imagine as we rock back and forth, breaking the fascia up in our back. Oh, beautiful, beautiful work. Now, we're gonna grab the back of our thighs, tuck our chin, making ourselves as tight as a ball as possible, pointing our toes. And it may take a roll or two, but we're gonna roll up to sitting. Try not to touch our toes on the ground. Did I shock you? Would you like to do it again? Let's roll back. Roll up to sitting, navel tight, elbows out. We'll do that in a class in the future. That was just a little fun teaser. Now we're gonna come to our sides. I'm on my left side if you'd like to join me. And I want the bottom leg, which is your left leg, to be bent. And your elbow, this is so important. Elbow needs to be under your shoulder. A good cue for that is to walk that elbow in a little closer than you think. That way, when you come up into that side plank, you're not coming over that shoulder joint. And that's usually where that shoulder joint is very vulnerable and it loads not in the right places. So tuck that elbow in. Nice. You can even put your hand in front of you for balance. Very good. We are gonna do some Pilates hip circles. And you're holding yourself up. You're not lounging on your beach chair. You're pulling everything up. Knitting together, remember, navel tight. Now I'm gonna extend my bottom leg just a little bit because I'm a little long. And I'm going to point my right toe. And as I do, I'm gonna give little bitty circles, holding myself up. My chest is up. I'm aligned. I kind of drew a D. Let me do a circle. There we go. And reverse. Beautiful. Navel tight, abductors, adductors, pulling your toes towards you, bringing your knee up to hip height, pressing and extending. One more time, point your toe, pull your toes up, bring your knee up to your hip, not up to your belly button, and press back down. All right, guys, we got to do that other side. I'm going to flip to this side of my mat, and I want to show you my good side. Again, my bottom leg is bent. My top leg is extended, that would be my left. My right elbow is up under my shoulder. I'm holding myself up. I'm not sagging. I'm bringing everything up, pointing my left leg. I had to think about that, and drawing some circles. Now, we're not talking about a lot of breathing in Pilates today because we're doing more of a strength portion, but then just enjoy the movement. Breath in, breath out, and reverse. Whew, you feeling that stir in your hips? Strong hips protect the back. Lengthened hips protect the back. Pull your toes towards you. Bring it up to hip height. Press out. Point, pull, bring it in, and press. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so we're going to come back to our back again. Because, you know, I think it would be really fun to end on this movement. Pilates, it's a really neat transition. And what you do is you grab the back of your thighs, and you can pull your knees out wide if you need to, but your elbows are out, your chin is tucked, everything is rounded. That helps the contraction of your stomach. That's another reason why you have to breathe differently in yoga and Pilates. As you grab the back of your thighs, you're using your spine to roll up on. And remember, your spine needs some flexibility as well. So this is really good. It's like a massage, all right? So we're gonna bring the knees up. We're gonna tuck into a tight ball, as tight as you can get. Bring your body back and roll up to sitting, trying your best not to touch your toes to the ground, sinking, leaning back, rolling up, navel tight. One more time, back, and then up. Feet are flat. Beautiful work today. You got to experience all the elements. This was more directed toward anxiety. You've got your breath in and out. Place your hands on each side of your knees. Roll your shoulders back. Breath in, breath out. Now, this is a time during a class setting where I would ask questions. How does your hips feel? How do your shoulders feel? Asking yourself these mindful questions is what keeps you in better health self-management. You can take the strongest person in the room, but the person that's going to come out the strongest and feel better is going to be the person that's better body aware. Now, if you got frustrated on some of the moves today, remember a lot of this takes practice and consistency where you can enjoy the breath and the movement. I'd love for you to come join me in our live classes. If not, we'll have more of these classes to come to do at your own time. Namaste.